Welcome to the future, step inside our AI domain, where the boundaries of imagination start to fade.
Hey everyone, glad you could make it for another deep dive.
Always ready to explore something new, especially when it involves the future of, well, reality itself.
No better place to be then. So we're taking a close look at Meta's latest projects. You know, those AR glasses everyone's buzzing about, Orion. Supposedly they're gunning to completely change how we interact with technology.
Yeah, and I'll say, just from reading through everything, they almost scrapped the whole thing before it even got off the ground.
Wait, really? Why is that?
Meta apparently thought the tech was just too far out there, like less than a 10% chance of actually working.
Wow. Talk about a gamble, though, huh? I mean, we've seen them dip their toes in the water with those Ray-Ban glasses.
Sure, and those were interesting, don't get me wrong. But Orion's a whole other beast. We're talking about packing a truly immersive AR experience into something that looks like a regular pair of glasses.
Well, and that's got to be the key, right?
100%.
If it ain't comfortable, ain't nobody wearing it. I remember some of those early VR headsets. Forget it.
Oh, I know what you mean. Bulky, awkward. Orion's going for sleek and stylish. One article even used the phrase barely there to describe how it feels to wear them.
And isn't that kind of the point of augmented reality in the first place?
Totally. It's about blending the digital with the real world seamlessly.
Exactly. And a big part of that, at least I think so, is being able to interact normally with other people. It's hard to have a conversation with someone when you're staring at them through what looks like a scuba mask.
Yeah, no kidding. One of the big things they're highlighting with Orion is that it maintains natural eye contact. Imagine being able to see holographic images while still having a normal conversation with the person across from you. Pretty mind-blowing.
It's like something straight out of a movie. But, and maybe this is me being a little too into the details, how on earth do they pack all that tech into something so small?
Right. That's what I was wondering, too. Turns out material science plays a big role. They're using something called silicon carbide for the lenses.
Silicon carbide. Okay, now break that down for me. I'm no material scientist.
So silicon carbide, this super tough material, way more durable than glass. But what's really cool is that it can bend and manipulate light in ways we couldn't even do before. It's how they can make these super compact lenses that still deliver incredible visuals.
Okay, so we're talking crazy strong and crazy precise. But hold on, all that visual stuff is great, but didn't one of the articles mention something about field of view? Some of the older AR headsets I tried felt like I was looking through a toilet paper tube.
Yeah. No, those were rough. And limited field of view was a huge issue with earlier devices. But with Orion, we're talking about the largest field of view we've ever seen in AR glasses. Like orders of magnitude bigger.
So none of that tunnel vision stuff. We're talking actually feeling immersed.
Think about it. Working with multiple virtual screens surrounding you. Watching a movie that feels like you're at a theater. All without completely shutting out the real world.
Okay, now my mind is officially blown. Sleek design, amazing visuals. But what about the brains behind it all? Is it just about augmented reality, or is there something more at play?
Here's where things get really wild. Orion isn't just about overlaying the digital world. It's actually integrating artificial intelligence into your everyday life. Like, for real.
AI built right into my glasses. Okay. Color me intrigued. But also slightly terrified. It's like, how much is this thing going to know about me?
It's definitely a big leap,
Yeah.
right? But think of it less like, Big Brother and more like having a super helpful assistant with you at all times.
Okay, I can kind of see that.
Like imagine you're trying to cook dinner, but you're drawing a blank on what to make. Your Orion glasses, using Meta's AI, could actually scan your fridge and suggest recipes based on what you've got on hand.
See, now that's something I could get behind. No more aimlessly wandering the grocery store aisles.
Exactly. Or, how about this? You're in the middle of something, hands are full, and you get a call. These glasses could let you take that call hands-free, no problem.
Okay, that's pretty slick. But let's be real for a sec. Am I really going to be that person talking to their glasses in public? I can barely get myself to ask Siri for directions when I'm alone in my car.
Huh. Yeah, I hear you. But the cool thing is, Orion's not just relying on voice commands.
Oh. So, how else am I supposed to control these things? Telepathy.
Not quite telepathy, but close. They're using a bunch of different methods like eye cracking and even reading your hand gestures.
Okay, that's pretty futuristic. But what if I'm not exactly a hand talker?
Well, then you're in luck. One of the articles mentioned this really wild tech, electromyography, or EMG for short, that can actually detect the tiny muscle movements in your wrist.
Hold on, back up. Electro what now?
EMG.
Yeah.
It's pretty much like, remember those old spy movies where they'd plant a microphone on someone?
Yeah.
It's kind of like that, but instead of sound, it's picking up on the electrical signals your muscles send out. So even just a tiny twitch of your wrist could be like clicking a mouse.
So I could be sitting at a cafe, sipping my coffee, and secretly controlling my glasses with, like, a flick of the wrist. That's straight out of spy movie.
I know, right? Talk about a conversation starter.
So all this sounds amazing and slightly terrifying, but the real question is, when can I get my hands on a pair of these Orion glasses? Asking for a friend, of course.
Well, here's the catch. They're not available just yet. Orion's still a prototype, which basically means they're still ironing out the kinks.
So it's a waiting game. But this isn't some pie-in-the-sky concept, right? They're actually planning on releasing this thing.
Oh, absolutely. Meta's made it pretty clear that they see Orion as more than just a research project. One article I read called it a highly polished prototype, which to me says they're getting ready for prime time.
Okay, so they're just adding the finishing touches.
Exactly. Right now, the focus is on things like making the display even sharper, shrinking down the tech even further, making it more wearable, and then figuring out how to make it affordable so everyone can actually experience it.
Well, yeah, because what's the point of having super advanced AR glasses if only a handful of people can afford them, right?
Exactly. They're aiming for mass adoption, which is ambitious, to say the least.
It is ambitious, but hey, gotta aim high, right? But while we're on the topic of ambitions, what's the end game here for Meta? Do they really think we'll all be walking around with computers on our faces in the future?
I think their vision goes way beyond just replacing your phone or even your laptop.
Oh.
They're talking about Orion being a complete game changer, like a fundamental shift in how we interact with technology.
Okay, now those are some bold words. Fundamental shift.
Yeah.
What does that even look like in real life? Paint me a picture.
Imagine a world where the line between the digital and the real is practically invisible. You want information. Just glance at something. Need to collaborate with someone. Boom, they appear as a hologram right in your living room.
So, like, no more Zoom calls. Sign me up.
Right. Or picture this. Experiencing a concert or a game, like you're right there in the front row, but you never even left your house. That's the kind of potential we're talking about.
I don't know. Part of me can't help but think, are we sure we want to go there? I mean, it sounds amazing, don't get me wrong. Yeah. But all that information all the time, the lines between real and, well, not real getting blurry. I don't know. It's a lot.
Yeah, it's a huge shift, no doubt. And honestly, it's something we all need to be thinking about. It's not just about, oh, cool, new tech.
Right.
There are some big questions we got to be asking ourselves.
Like what?
Well, like you said, information overload's a real thing. How do we make sure we're not just constantly bombarded with stuff? And then there's the whole privacy issue.
Oh, right, because if these glasses are basically tracking everything we see and do.
Exactly. We need to be really careful about how that data is collected, how it's used.
Yeah, don't want to end up in some Black Mirror episode.
Exactly. It's all fun and games until it's not, right?
Right. But, I mean, we don't want to be all doom and gloom here.
Oh, absolutely not.
The potential is huge, assuming we can, figure out the ethical stuff.
100%. And that's what I keep coming back to. It's not just about the technology itself. It's about how we choose to use it.
Okay, so it's not about if this future is coming, but how we're going to handle it when it gets here.
Exactly.
Well, folks, there you have it. A glimpse into the future of augmented reality, with Meta's Orion glasses leading the charge. A future where the line between the real world and the digital world, well, might not even exist anymore. Whether that's exciting or a little bit terrifying, well, that's up to you to decide. Thanks for joining us for another deep dive. We'll catch you next time.
Welcome to the future, step inside our AI domain, where the boundaries of imagination start to fade. We're the visionaries, the keepers of tomorrow's dreams, unlocking the secrets of the universe, or so it seems. Tune in now, join the channel and explore the AI oracles, wisdom like never seen before. We'll take take you on a journey where knowledge comes alive. The future's here, embrace the AR sky.